So I haven't been aboard very much recently, so things aren't quite in the state they would be if I was living here. But this is where I normally sleep. There's another bed there. The galley. This is actually quite a large galley for the size of the boat. I've been on larger boats that have smaller galleys than this. There's another bed up here. Composting toilet bucket in here. And the cockpit. With a life raft, which I bought when I sailed around the North Island last summer. Currently missing is there's a solar panel that would be mounted here, but I removed the solar panel recently for another project, and the mount broke and I need to make another one. Bubble. Yeah, I'm pretty proud of the electronics set up. I wanted something so that you could throw a bucket of water at it and it would still work. So waterproof fuse boxes, waterproof switches, the charge controller is under like a sealed panel, and then this box here goes around the outside, and then on the inside this top has a wall that goes to there, so water would have to go in here, up and around there, and you could put two like O-ring pads there that get screwed together. And then if you need to work on the wiring, you take off this whole panel and put it down here, and you can see everything. Like, you don't have to work at an awkward angle. I'm pretty happy with it, although it would have been better if these terminals were facing outwards. And also, you can disable the battery and the solar independently and switch off the battery. So if I want to work on it, I can just disconnect the battery and the solar without using a screwdriver. This is the chart table. My boat has Hank-on sails. A lot of my friends' boats have roller furler sails, so the sail rolls up around the forestay. Roller furlers are really convenient when they work, but I've been in the very small amount of time that I've been sailing on sails with roller furlers, I have observed them go wrong a number of times, like fail to come out, run tangled and damaged, and I had to go aloft up the top. With a Hank-on headsail, you have to come up on deck to change sails, but I've never had to go aloft to fix the sail. So I think Hank-on sails are simpler and make you stronger, and a roller furler sail is quite complicated, and you become dependent on that complication working right. So also cheaper boats probably have Hank-on sails. So okay, so I have it packed in the bag, all lined up in a way so it'll be easy to put on. You notice the first thing, I didn't get it out of the bag. Tanks always come from the same side. One thing that I like that I have set up on my boat is I have a rope to pull the sail down. That means you can lower the sail without coming up on deck, which makes having Hank-on sails a lot more convenient. So now that it's clipped on, I can remove the bag. And the sheets are tied on with the boat. Okay, that's now ready to go. One skill you learn when you become better at sailing is anticipating snags and preventing, like you notice that a rope is going over another rope, and you see that and then you fix it before you put any tension on the rope. So I just realised that the downhaul, I thought maybe the downhaul didn't go clear, and I fixed it, and now it's good.
Because the forestay is structural, does this style of sail, because it's got metal clips running up and down it, does it wear down the steel rigging?
The rigging is also steel. It doesn't do any negligible damage. Also, the hanks are made of brass, which so they're a lot softer than the rigging.
Also.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. I've actually got plastic rigging on the rest of the boat. This is Dynamo.
Right.
I did this myself, and I like it. I like it because you don't need any special hardware except for some thimbles, and you can tighten it just with these lashings. So it's much cheaper, and this is actually twice as strong as the metal rigging that was there before in terms of stretch. Like you could cut this, but just by pulling the mast or pushing it over, this is twice as strong, and I can carry everything I need on board to completely redo this easily. However, I left the metal one on the jib, on the forestay. This plate clipped on. So the sail cover protects the sail from ultraviolet light. It's important to always, your sails will last longer if you always put the sail cover back on. That can go down the foredeck. And then the sail ties, I have it set up so it's just a slip. So to tie it back on, tuck one under and then back through, so it grips, and then you can undo it easy. And sail ties go in the port side rope bag. Another thing I have on my boat is, instead of, other people store the mast with the sail straight, but then when you come out of the cockpit, you're more likely to hit your head on it. So I tie mine off to the side, and I have a clip over here on a rope that is like permanently attached, so I just clip it on. It's the last thing I do when I'm packing the boat down. If your mast is tall, if your boom is taller, you might hit your head on it, but I try to keep mine. If I'm standing here, it doesn't hit me on the head, but if I'm standing here, it can hit me on the head, and you don't want to get hit on the head. Yeah, I don't think I need to explain why you don't want to get hit on the head, but getting hit in the head in a really wrong situation could kill you. Could knock you unconscious, and it could knock you overboard. So always be very careful when you're crossing the deck between the mast and the cockpit. Like always check the wind direction before you do that, so you can, and worst case, crawl along the deck. Now to get underway under sail, if possible, erase the mainsail first. There's a bit of current here that can turn the boat around, and we're getting slightly headwind, so I think we can raise the mainsail, and then we'll release the mooring, and then we'll sail away, and then we'll raise the jib. First, fix any snags. Yep. Then just haul that in. Perfect. That's exactly the stance that I do it. That's the best ergonomics. Yeah, keep on going until the front of the sail is taut. Okay, that looks good. Nope. Back in there, yep. Just pull that back. Okay, now we're sailing. the tiller, grab the tiller. Pull the sail in so we have the wind is catching us and start steering. Now I've set up my mooring with 2 floats so that it's much easier to, because you sail up and grab onto one, and usually one floats further away from the other one. We can't sail the arrow. Now we're heading too much into the wind. We need to go sort of this direction. Show you how to coil the rope. This is how I store the ropes, the halyards. I coil them like that. I've tried a bunch of ways, but this is my favourite because it makes a figure of 8, and that makes them much less likely to, when you just drop them and let them go, much less likely to snag. And then I just put a loop through it and hang it off the cleat, and that leaves the winch free in case I need to winch something else. Yeah, raise the jib. The jib is the green halyard on the other side. Oh, that white rope that you're standing on is the downhaul. So you were standing on that and that was stopping you from pulling it up.
Oh yeah. I think it's fully up.
Got another turn. Looks better if it's tight though.
Yeah.
I also always face the winch handles away from the door so there's less likely to snag. Okay, don't coil that yet. Instead get the sheet on the winch. Don't pull it from there. See, it goes through that loop?
Yep.
We don't need to pull it all the way in because we're just sailing across the wind. The rule is let it out until it starts flapping and then bring it back in a little bit. Let it out until it starts flapping and then bring it back in a little bit. So let it loose until now we can see that the forward part of the sail is loose. It's like not a nice curved shape. We want a smooth curve all the way. Yeah, and you can feel that the boat just picked up speed a little bit. Yeah, like things got tighter. Okay, now coil the halyard. No, go over the winch handles the easy way.
Yep.
And then go over the winch and then into your hand. Over the winch into your hand. Lift the whole thing up. The whole thing up, and then the boat end, tuck it through, and then hang it over that.
Right.
Good job. Now we're sailing. Nice breeze today for some chariot racing. There's not this many boats out normally, but it's the America's Cup is on, and
Oh, a helicopter. Just like weaving through the boats.
yeah, I think it's probably the news, because that is like reckless. You've got to have a special reason to fly your helicopter that low.
Yeah.
Not really safe, and it's got like a camera. It's got a camera thing on it. Maybe we'll get on the news. How to tell which way the wind is blowing. There's an arrow on top of the boat.
Yeah.
Flags blow away from the wind.
Yeah.
The waves are caused by the wind, so when you look at the waves, they're coming straight on that way and moving away that way.
Yeah.
Also, if you face towards the wind, when you can hear the wind in both ears, you're facing directly towards the wind. Also, you can lick your finger and then you feel the bit that's cool.
Yeah.
Is another good way. All of these methods have their time. Okay, Alexey, do you know what a tack is?
Tack. You switch the direction, so you turn the boom that way and the mainsail that way as well.
Okay, good.
So you
Do you know what a jibe is?
jibe. No.
Okay, let's do a jibe. So there's tacks and jibes. They're the two different versions of changing the direction, changing the side that the wind is on.
Yep.
So a tack is when you are going towards the wind and you change the direction, and a jibe is when you're moving away from the wind and you change the direction. This boat has a pretty gentle, so jibe is usually the scary one. This boat has a relatively gentle jibe though. First, turn fully downwind. Sails completely out. Check that the wind is coming directly from behind. Sail all the way in. Then turn enough. Turn until the mainsail put tension on the outside, and then release the sail. Then change the jib. Okay, we turn downwind. Okay, the boom went over, so release the sail now. Always put it round the winch.
Huh?
Always put it round the winch at least once on those winches, because it's a lot harder. Because when the wind gets tight on the sail, you won't be able to hold it. Yep, that's good. That's good. Okay, now we're going to tack. First, we pull all the way in. Then you call standby to tack. That calls everyone on the crew to get ready. Even if they're inside, they need to prepare for the boat landing the other way. Even when it's just me, I mentally say standby to tack, and you can get things ready, such as put the currently lazy sheet on the winch ready. Okay, standby to tack. Ready? Then the helmsman calls tacking. Tacking. Then when the jib starts flapping, get it off the winch. And pull it down on the other side. If you do everything quickly and your timing was good, then you won't actually need to you won't need to get the winch handles out. Today is light wind, so it's easy. Don't feel bad if you do have to use the wind handle, but feel good if you didn't. One thing I like to do as well is coil the working sheet. I just flake it like that and leave it on the deck. That means that when you release it, it's less likely to snag on anything. Standby to tack. Ready? Tacking. I'm the helmsman, so I call standby to tack. Standby to tack. No, other way on the winch, clockwise.
Right, yeah.
All the winches on this boat are clockwise. Don't release that yet. Just get ready.
Yep.
Then you call ready.
Yep. Ready.
And then I start tacking, and then when the sail starts flapping, then you release it. Okay. Ready?
Ready.
Tacking. Now release. And on the other side. Yep. That's good.
Yep.
To get it into these plates when it's under pressure, if you push down and then through, it goes in easy. These sheet winches also have gears, they're 2 speeds. So one way, unlike the halyard winches, one way is hard, one way is easy.
As in when you turn it the other
Yeah,
way?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Just turn that way a little bit towards the pylon so that you keep the sail, so the jib is loose, and that just slows us down. Oh no, the tide's falling, so we are getting through, we're drifting through.
Okay.
But if the tide was rising, we would be heading straight for that. Do you see the bits of wool on the sail?
Yep.
That's the fine tuning that tells us whether we're getting laminar flow over the sail.
Yeah.
So right now the green is moving a lot, that means it's not laminar. We want both sides to be laminar. So to get that, turn away from the wind slightly until they're both going smooth. Yeah, almost. Yeah, there we go. That means the sail is now fully happy. In that window, you can see the green one is hanging up, and that's saying turn up towards the wind a little bit. Yep, and you can feel the boat just became a little bit more powerful. Like the waves, like the boat heels a little bit, and you can hear ropes tighten, and the boat accelerates just slightly. But now we've gone too far up, so now the red one's unhappy. So sailing upwind is like there's quite a narrow like power zone, and you want to stay in that zone. Okay, now we're getting into this boat race, so we should jibe and we should sail back up the bridge. When we're turning away from the wind, we'll ease the sails. Just let it out until it's loose, and then pull it back in a little bit. Yep, and same with the jib. I think we should jibe before we get to them. Okay, you need to turn quite firmly. Turn more. Keep on turning until the sail flips to the other side. Yeah, and straighten out. Now, when you're going downwind, you don't pull the jib in tight. Just leave it loose. Like, you still cleat it though. So you keep an eye on the wind direction firstly. First priority is don't let the boom flip over.
Yeah.
Second priority is keep the jib full. That yellow pole is trying to tell us not to go there.
Yeah.
You can just kind of tell. That's saying there's something here. Let's just go around that. It's pretty much always safer when you see a mark to go to the side that has more water on it.
Yeah.
we're going to drop the jib in preparation for anchoring. So turn into the wind, just make a bolder move into the wind. And when the jib's over the deck, okay, now release the halyard. The halyard, the green one, and pull that lever up. Yep, and then pull the other rope down.
Are we good?
Pull the sail on board. And you see that the anchor hatch? Lift that up, and it has a clip on the back. Stretch that over the sail and clip it onto the railing. We're going very slow with just the main to windward. I need to tack before I hit that boat. But one thing you can do on this boat is pump the rudder. So push it gently to one side and then firmly, and you get a bit of a push. And if it's really light, you can push it through the tack like that. So we're about halfway through the tide. Okay, so 2/3 of the way through the tide. So if we have like more than like a metre of depth, then we'll be good. We're not going to stay here that long, but it's nice not to get stuck, and I have a spot here that I like. So you approach the spot you want to anchor from, well, from whichever direction you're approaching from. Usually not coming downward, normally you're going to windward. This is an exception. And then you turn into the wind, that will stop the boat. Oops, that was an accidental jibe. And then you turn into the wind, that will stop the boat, and then drop the anchor at pretty much the same time. Okay, your job is going to be to run up and drop the anchor. So you put it over the roller and just let it fall. I just get it down as soon as possible. Go up there, and I'll call when to drop it. Yeah, okay, now it's good.
Alright.
Yep. Yep. And here it's not very deep, so just tie it off with just get the chain in the water, and then it's already tied off with a good position. Yep. Yep. Okay, now we're going to get underway from anchor, just under sail, because we have no motor. First step is raise the mainsail. That means that when we get the anchor up, boat's under control. Then raise the anchor, then we're sailing. Then when we get the chance, raise the jib, and then we're properly sailing again. And that is the easiest. That's the order I normally do it. In some exceptional circumstances, I raise the jib first. Of course, normally I do all of this myself. One trick I'll show you here. So if you need to have a rest, if you wrap the chain around here twice, then it will like, that's temporary, but that will, you can like catch your breath. So the way to see if you're going to sail past something or not is if you look at how the parallax changes behind it. So is the land in the distance moving to the left or the right? So here I can see that we're actually moving, we're not going to make it past that blue boat. So we'll need to sail around it. stand by to tack.
Ready? Ready?
We're just going to go a bit further first.
Yep. Should I loosen this?
No.
Oh, we're going behind?
No, we're not going to go behind, but we're going to go closer.
Yep.
Oh!
What?
We just ran aground.
Oh.
Whoops. If we had a motor, we could probably just reverse.
Yeah.
We don't have a motor. So what we're going to do is we're going to row the anchor out.
Okay.
And drop it back into deep water. We might not be able to pull ourselves back, but if we wait 20 minutes, we probably will. Yeah. Try not to run aground on a falling tide. So currently the anchor chain is piled up the wrong way, so the anchor end is on the bottom, wants to be on the top, so I'm just going to re-pile the chain here. When the tide lifts us off, we'll just mean pulling the anchor back in, which is easy. That was like a flyby by like the entire New Zealand Air Force, showing you how it works. So you tie the tiller off, and you tie the tiller in the centre and pull the mainsail all the way in. Then the boat will kind of sail itself backwards and tack from side to side on the anchor. Whenever it goes through the tack, the anchor becomes loose, and you can pull the chain up a little bit more. And then here it goes now. Take this. Up as much as I can, and then before it gets tight, put it on the plate. It's not necessary to do this on the amount of wind we have today, but if it was windier, this could be the thing that makes it possible to get the anchor up. If you've seen doing it with other boats, you'll notice also that I have a rather large diameter chain on this boat. Than you would normally have on a boat this size. That's because I live on the anchor, and I don't like the anchor to drift, so just have a bigger anchor than you would normally have. This boat here belongs to a guy I know who he works on the America's Cup for Luna Rossa, as he writes the simulation that they use. So it's actually, what they do is first they make a video game, a sailing video game, and then they figure out everything in the video game, and then they try to build the boat that replicates the video game.
Okay.
If you're going to sail engineless, it's important not to bump into people's boats.
Yeah.
Because they would just say, like, I told you so, why doesn't your engine work? But everyone is actually an engineless sailor at some point, because the engines break down.
Yeah.
Like, everyone I know who has a boat, nearly every young person I know has a boat, they have had engine troubles at some point and had to sail without the engine.
How is that
Short tacking,
different?
stand by to tack,
Short tacking through the
stand by to tack,
No.
stand by to tack,
Oh, right. Ready.
tacking. That was a funny one.
Huh?
That was a funny one.
Yeah,
That'll definitely make it into the reel.
I wasn't sure if we're still having a conversation
Yeah.
or are you being a captain?
That was definitely in the imperative. See over here? See this boat? See how the island behind it, it's moving past, so we know that we're going to go in front of it. And sometimes you're going so slow that it can be unclear what's going to happen. When you're towing a dinghy and sailing close to something, you've got to remember you're towing a dinghy and not to get the dinghy snagged.
Yep. Just like a car and a trailer. A lot of people just forget and they just...
Yeah.
So we're doing the exercise steering by telltale. All right.
That's enough. If we're sailing, so like right now we might be able to reach the mooring on one go, but if we did another tack so that we come up beside the mooring, then it's much easier, because then we can sail towards the mooring across the wind, and then we can turn up or turn down.
Yeah.
But if we line up so the mooring is directly ahead in one tack at all the way in, we won't be able to turn up.
Yeah.
And I'll put the hatch is good because it keeps it out of the way. Because we want to bring the boat to like an almost stop right next to the mooring. So we're going to have to sail across and then turn into the wind so the bow of the boat is next to the mooring. Okay, just sail out that way and tack and come back.
Okay. We want it over, right? No.
Yeah, but let the wind do it. Go to the side of it so that we turn into the wind. So don't go aim straight for it now. Aim to the side, aim to the downwind side. The other way, this on the left. And then when we get close to it, we want to turn up so that the bow will be right at it. So that you'll be able to reach down and hook the rope that's attached to the black thing with this. Yeah, go. Great, now quickly tie it up to something.
For now.
Cool. Yeah, so now we can get the sail down and then we'll pull the mooring up properly. Holds up. Okay, we're on the mooring. Now we should have to pack the sails away and we're done.
Nice.
Starting with the master end, clip the cover over the sail. This sail cover has a couple of broken clips. And then work down from the mast end. From the mast end.
Yeah. Hashtag no clip. Or is it tilde no clip? I think that's all the clips we can do.
That one ties on to that round turn and 2 half hitches.
Yeah. Right. Thing with knots, you can't just look at them and be like, okay, I get it. You have to do it.
But the reason I bought this boat, the sails have lasted me. They're beginning. So first I pull it out tight. And then fold into a zigzag. And then I can go back and roll the sail. Often I jam the bundle like that, so the holds it all steady. It's extra large. I like to